CBT skills kind of plays off the idea that your thoughts and actions play off of your emotions and vice versa. It kind of all goes together. So, what you think impacts what you feel, and what you feel impacts what you do. And honestly, this is why depression and everything associated with it is so hard to get out of, because when you're depressed, you do things that make you feel more depressed, and it kind of keeps going in a cycle. But what you have to do sometimes is break that cycle. And I went to this outpatient therapy thing a couple years ago, and I learned a lot of things about how this works and skills to kind of break free of this. So, one of the things they said is there's a skill called OEA, and I think it's opposite of emotion action. So basically, when you are feeling like staying in bed or feeling like staying in and not doing something, being like, okay, this is my emotion right now telling me what to do, and doing the exact opposite of what that is. So instead of that, going out and going for a walk, or going to the store, or just doing the opposite of what that emotion was telling you to do. Because especially when you're depressed, staying in makes it worse. And for people with bipolar, this goes in kind of the opposite direction too. When you're manic, you want to do everything, you want to go out and do things, and you don't want to stop. And it kind of takes some self awareness to do this when you're manic, because when you're manic, you don't want to listen to anybody, and it's hard to have any self control. So when you are, doing all those things that can potentially be dangerous, you have to take a step back. You have to be like, oh, this is my emotion right now. I am manic, and this is not good for me. And then, kind of get yourself to stay in. Another thing I learned that kind of goes along with this CBT is problem focused and solution focused thinking. So when you're thinking of the problem and you're focusing on the problem, you're thinking about what's wrong with the situation, and you often feel like you're being controlled by external forces and that you can't change your situation. It often leads to self-destructive, self-defeating behaviors, and it can be changed with new types of thinking, which is solution-focused thinking, which is willingness to find new solutions to your problems, taking responsibility, taking healthy risks, and making decisions that would be good for your health, for your mindset. You develop and implement alternative behaviors. It is very self-validating when you are doing these sorts of things, because you accept what you're feeling, and then you also change the way you're feeling by thinking things differently and saying, I can get through this, instead of like, why me? Why is this happening to me? Why can't I do anything right, sort of thing. When you're thinking of the problem, you are often thinking that things will never change, that you are a victim of circumstance, and that things will keep happening to you and you have no control over what is happening. And that kind of attributes the problem to you. You're like, this is the problem and it doesn't go away because I am who I am and problems keep coming to me. But when you are using solution focused thinking, you might say, like, this is a problem, but I'm not the problem, and I'll ask for help when I need it. It's okay to have these problems. I can find the solution. So honestly, what I said at the beginning about how emotions and thoughts and behaviors are all intertwined, this is one of the first steps to changing everything. You gotta change the way you think. So when you start reorienting these problem focused thinking to solution focused thinking, that's when you start changing everything else. It's kind of difficult at first to catch yourself when you're thinking these negative things and change it to the positive things and actually believe them. But over time, if you really try at this and you really start believing that you can be in control of a situation, even when something happens to you that's beyond your control, you can really start changing the way you're acting and feeling towards yourself. So that's it for today's videos. I hope you guys found this a little helpful, and if you would like to watch more, please like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time.